top local pros who can get the job done right. Plus, you could see upfront pricing and instantly book hundreds of projects. No phone tag, just the work you need done at a time that works for you. Angie's got your to-do list covered from start to finish. Book your next home project today at Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
Your morning starts now. It's the Q102 Jeff and Jen podcast, brought to you by CVG Airport. Fly healthy through CVG. For more information, go to CVG Airport /fly healthy.
Lauren is looking for a second date update with Steve. Hi, Lauren. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing great. Let's see what we can do for you on the Steve front. You want to start from the beginning and tell us how you two met?
Sure. I met him online, of course. You know, the only way people are meeting people these days. And I talked to a bunch of different guys, actually. And there were a couple I was interested in, but this guy really felt like the best fit for me. And if I'm going to be a responsible dater during these times of medical fragility, I'm only going to risk my own personal health to go out with guys that I really feel like I have a strong connection with, you know?
Yeah, he better be worth it.
Yeah, better be worth the risk, man.
Right.
Exactly. And I could just tell that he and I would click, and we did. We met for dinner on the patio at Oakley Pub and Grill. And we were there for a couple of hours, about 2 or 3 hours. And anytime a date lasts for more than an hour, I call it a win, because sometimes people are just, you know, people are just weird. But he was, like, really cool. He seemed really interested in me. He asked a lot of questions, and I love someone who asks me a lot of questions because I like to talk about myself.
Okay.
I didn't really feel like I learned a lot about him, though, because he was just so busy asking me questions.
That may have been by design. That may have been on purpose.
But I really feel like I like have a chance. Like, this could work, but I don't know. Since our date, I've texted him twice, haven't heard anything back, and I wish there was more I could tell you guys, because when we said goodbye, there was no hug or kiss or anything, but I didn't think anything of it. Also because, you know, we're in a pandemic, and I want to be a responsible human. So, yeah.
Yeah.
He and I seem like really on the same page, which was really nice. Everyone feels so divided right now. It was like nice to talk to someone and there not be any points of contention. You know, I hope that you guys can help me figure out what's going on.
It is refreshing when you feel like you're on the same page. You feel like you're understood. Like you're not speaking two different languages. That is refreshing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you feel like he was, you know, I kind of joked about this earlier, but do you feel like he was intentionally deflecting, like, let's keep her talking since she likes talking about herself so much so I don't have to share too much of myself, or did that not occur to you? I'm not saying that was the case. I'm just saying, you know, I may have been known to do that once or twice on a date a million years ago.
That was actually his MO, if you want to know the truth, because, yeah. He wasn't much on revealing things about himself, so he would just keep her talking.
Well, I've always been kind of an introvert.
Yeah, a little bit of an introvert. Plus, he knew how good it made a woman feel when a man was interested in her, what she was thinking and feeling.
Woman likes to be heard.
Yeah. So he has really, over the years, perfected the act of fake listening.
I'm sorry, what? I mean, I understand.
So much practice.
Like, I know how at the end you said, well, there wasn't a hug and there wasn't a kiss for obvious health reasons, and so you didn't think much of it. But in hindsight, when you go back,
no, I didn't. I just thought you know, we haven't really been allowed to, like, socialize with people. I guess I took it as he was excited to meet someone new.
Right, and I'm sure he was.
Yeah, it's good to get out there, you know.
Yeah.
Whether or not he wants to take it further is a different question. Yeah. But that's why we do second date update, because we're going to call him and we're going to confront him. Well, maybe not confront him, but we're going to ask him.
We're going to check it out.
And maybe even get a second date out of it.
Maybe. That'd be nice.
Fingers crossed.
It doesn't happen very often, but you know what? We hold out hope.
That's right. So, Lauren, stick around. We're going to put you on hold. We'll get Steve's phone number from you, and we'll call him next as second date update continues here with Jeff and Jen, Cincinnati's Q102. got Steve online. She was talking to a couple of guys at the time, but Steve seemed to be more of a standout. And look, if you're gonna venture out in these crazy times of social distancing and trying to stay healthy and flatten the curve and all that, you want to make sure this guy's worth it. But they really seemed to click at dinner outside in Oakley patio. Seemed very interested. Asked her a lot of questions, taking an interest, what seemed like a genuine interest. And who doesn't love that?
Right.
Kind of undivided attention, right?
Feels good to feel heard
Yeah.
and seen.
There was no hug or kiss or anything at the end of the night, but she didn't think anything of it just because we're living in a different world now. But a lot of time has passed and she hasn't heard from him since. So, Lauren, unless there's anything I left out that you would like to add to the recap.
No, nothing else.
Right.
That's pretty much it.
Okay. So let's go ahead and call Steve.
Hello.
Hi, can we speak to Steve, please?
This is Steve.
Steve, it's Jeff and Jen at Q102.
Jeff and Jen, what's up?
Sure, I'll bite.
For real? Is this seriously Jeff and Jen?
Yeah, This is not a joke, my friend. Got Jen here. Tim's here. You're on speakerphone.
Good morning.
Oh, holy crap.
You got a few minutes?
Yeah, I guess so.
Any idea why we might be calling you, Steve?
Is this going to be like a second date update?
Yes, sir.
It's going to be like that.
Update. Your number has come up.
Wow, seriously.
It's your turn.
Crazy.
So Lauren called us about you.
Oh, yeah.
So you remember Lauren?
Yeah, I remember Lauren.
Do you like Lauren? This feels so grade school to me.
I know. So Lauren kind of likes you. Do you like
Lauren
her?
likes you. Do you like her?
Yeah, I mean, I like her, but, you know, it was kind of messed up, the date.
You thought the date was messed up.
Yeah, a little bit.
She didn't think it was messed up. In fact, she thought you were pretty cool. You seemed very nice. She thought you two clicked. She thought you were an excellent listener, asked great questions, and just, all around seemed like a super nice guy. So what part of that did she miss?
I mean, none of that, hopefully. It was just weird. I mean, look, she was all about, being super safe in, like, the coronavirus world or whatever.
Right. I mean, that's important, right? That's
right.
a thing.
Sure.
No?
Sure. I mean, we kind of talked about it before, but, we went on a date. I mean, she didn't wear a mask or anything, but she was definitely, social distancing. And I don't know. I mean, she just, seems to be respecting the virus or, whatever, which I was kind of fine with. But here's the thing, and I just don't get this at all. She was all about being, like, super safe. But then, she's been at every protest downtown.
Oh.
Yeah, like marching, carrying signs, and she showed me pictures, and, like, she's yelling in some of them, with no mask on, or some of them she's just, like, wearing a mask around her neck or whatever.
Oh, no mask.
Yeah, no, and, like, not everyone, some people are wearing masks, but not everyone, but whether they are or they're not, like, she's, like, shoulder to shoulder with, like, all of these total strangers, there's, like, droplets or whatever everywhere.
Yeah.
And, somehow she thinks, like, that's okay, but then don't hug me or, like, don't sit too close.
I see.
But then she'll get
It's
all
like
up in
selective
strangers'
safety.
faces. Yeah.
Okay.
She's, like, up screaming at people because it's, like, a good cause or whatever, and, like, that's okay. And then at one point, I guess, she got detained, or a bunch of them got detained by the police and put in one of those, I don't know, like paddy wagon.
For lack of a better term. I couldn't think of it either. I'm like, paddy wagon was the best I could come up with.
know.
That the night they just put him in a metro bus?
Might have been.
So she's in this, like, thing with a bunch of strangers, and, like, she thought that was cool or fine.
Okay.
But I just don't get the rationale there at all. It's just, or, like, the common sense. It's like, you're worried about it or you're not.
Yeah, I have friends who also attended the protest, a lot of friends, actually, who attended the protests. And to my knowledge, through the photos that I've seen on social media and from what they told me, they all wore masks, trying to be as careful as they could while still demonstrating and expressing themselves. But were you not wearing a mask, or what was the story there? What were you, what was going through your mind during those protests, other than the message itself?
Well, I just think that there are more important things than a virus, like equal rights. And so I was there to stand up for what was right. So, of course, I went.
Right. But do you understand Steve's point? Like, as important as that was, and we're not criticizing you or knocking you for, attending a Black Lives Matter protest by any stretch of the imagination. So don't misunderstand us. But I guess what I'm asking is, like, why do your coronavirus fears seem heightened after that fact now, when they weren't in that moment?
I've been in quarantine, and I went with friends, and we were together, and they've all been in quarantine, and we got tested prior to being at the event, and so we felt safe with each other.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, there's like hundreds, of people. I mean, I get what she's saying, but it just doesn't make any sense. You're going to go around being all cautious, like you're going to be super cautious around me, like not get too close, but you can be around hundreds of people in a small space. That's totally crazy to me. It's like, which is it? You're afraid of getting sick or you're not?
I mean, I'm pretty healthy, and I'm responsible when I think that it makes sense. And when other action is necessary, then I evaluate the situation.
So, Lauren, are you saying that after the protests, when you said you self-quarantine, meaning what? Like you stayed in your house, you laid low for 2 weeks before going out again?
Yeah, so if I was out more than once during the week at a rally or a protest, I would go home immediately after. It's not like I would continue to be out for the rest of the day. I'm pretty healthy. I take my vitamins. Mm-hmm. I do all the necessary things that I felt that I need to do to be safe and to make sure that other people around me are safe.
Yeah. Are you going to work are you working from home, or what's your work situation?
From home.
You're working remotely?
Yeah.
Well, Steve, I don't know. I mean, does that change anything for you? I kind of see your point in a way. Look, this was important. This was a calculated risk I decided to take, try to exercise all the reasonable safety protocols I could given the situation. And
not really. I mean,
no.
I really don't get it. I totally don't get it. It's so weird to me that you're going to pick and choose when it's okay. It's either you're worried about it or you're not.
These are very confusing times in so many ways. And so many people are just all over the place. I just, it's not just one way or another way. It's 300 different ways. And it's almost impossible to keep up with all of them and keep up with all the changes day to day.
Yeah.
And be aware and open-minded that, hey, what was maybe the truth yesterday is no longer the truth, because it's like a fluid sort of situation.
This is new to all of us.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, we appreciate the explanation. And Lauren, I'm sorry.
No biggie.
Well, good luck, you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you both coming on Second Date Update.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you.
It's crazy.
I know this is not a phone call you get every day, Steve, but we appreciate you rolling with it.
Sure.
And offering us your perspective.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Take it easy.
See ya.
And Lauren, thanks to you.
No, thank you guys so much. Thank you for your help.
Always. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right. You need our help with the Second Date Update. Just send us an email, jeffandjen@wkrq.com.
Thanks for listening to the Q102 Jeff and Jen Morning Show podcast, brought to you by CVG Airport. Fly healthy through CVG. For more information, go to CVG Airport /fly healthy.